When you first started using My Two Brows, what was your opinion? Like first look at the box, first time trying it on, what did you feel?
When I first used my two brows, I was a little apprehensive just because I'd never used any kind of temporary tattoo product before. I previously had done microblading, so I was super excited that they looked exactly like that. And I was just hoping that they lasted long. And so that was kind of my mindset going into it. I was just a little nervous that it wasn't going to work. But then they lasted for actually a couple of days my first time trying them. And I knew that this was going to be a really good solution to my eyebrow problem.
When you first had them on and finally really were looking at yourself in the mirror with them on, what was your first impression?
I was really impressed with how realistic they looked. Like I said, I had never used a temporary tattoo product before, so I didn't know if they were going to look like kind of animated or kind of like pretty fake. But honestly, I get people asking me all the time, like what I do for my eyebrows or how I got them done. And so I think that's the biggest compliment ever is when people think you actually have real eyebrows when you don't.
Perfect. And then if you were trying to just explain to somebody in a similar situation with you, what would be some advice that you would give them?
My first piece of advice to someone going through a similar situation to me would just be that your appearance does not have to define you, and you can find your identity in the Lord most of all, because that is where your true beauty comes from. And if I were to give someone advice who was in a similar situation to me, I would just first and foremost tell them that their appearance does not have to define them. You can find your identity in so many other things. For me, most importantly, I find my identity in the Lord because I know that that is the most important thing in my life. And I just care about how I serve the Lord and how I treat others. And so that is what I find my beauty in. But also, having eyebrows does give you a sense of confidence. And so I think that My Two Brows is a great product and a great solution to be able to just give yourself that little bit of self-confidence in your appearance.
And have you had anybody directly ask you, send you a link or where did you get these specifically?
I have people actually reach out to me all the time, especially people in sports, because there's not a lot of waterproof solutions to eyebrows, especially with makeup and other things that kind of aren't sweat proof. So I have a lot of people, a lot of basketball players and athletes reach out to me and ask me how I'm able to get my eyebrows to look like this and get them to last so long. And so I'm able to, connect them to My Two Brows and hopefully impact their lives a little bit differently.
Granted, you play a physical sport, so sometimes you do get bumps and things happen. How easy is it to go ahead and just start fresh and put a new one on at halftime or in whatever situation you're in?
It's really so simple. It takes less than 5 minutes to just take it off and put a new one on because it's such a seamless process. And so obviously things aren't perfect, and I do play contact sports, so I do get hit sometimes, and nothing is going to be hit proof, but it's so easy to be able to just take this one off and put a new one on and not have to redo everything else on my face because of it.